City boy, city boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And today we got to talk about why it is that nobody is able to get over in the Triple H regime, okay? Nobody's able to get over, all right? And there's a couple of reasons why this is going down, all right? One of the most obvious reasons why nobody gets over in the Triple H regime is due to all of the 50-50 matches, okay? There's so many 50-50 booked good matches, right, quote unquote, and that's an issue. That's a problem, okay? If you have 4 to 5 good 50-50 matches, right, every single fucking time I turn on the television, right, not somebody going in and absolutely beating the fuck out of somebody else, okay? But these two single stars just going in and they're beating the fuck out of each other. And they're very even. And the edge is not really clear, okay? Nobody really has a clear edge. They're just two good wrestlers in the ring doing some good wrestling, right? That gets nobody over, okay? Because we don't know who's the top dog, all right? I've used this example before. If I'm tuning in to if I'm watching an action movie, right, with fucking, who's a good action star that we could think of? Tom Cruise, right? If I'm tuning in to a Tom Cruise movie, right, and every single fucking jobber extra that he goes up against, it takes fucking 10, 20, 15,000 minutes, right? It just takes so long for him to beat the shit out of somebody, right? And they're going back and forth the whole time. And this is against every single fucking jobber extra that he goes against. Then Tom Cruise doesn't seem that impressive to me. What I want to see is Tom Cruise walk up to somebody, hit him in the throat real quick, and they just drop to their knees, right? What I want to see is Tom Cruise walk up to somebody, hit him with a double spin back kick, and they just drop to their knees, right? I want to see Tom Cruise take out 5 jobbers at once, right? That's what I want to see, because that's going to get Tom Cruise over in this movie for me. That shows to me that Tom Cruise in this movie is a special guy, and I should care about this special guy, all right? We don't have things like that happening in the wrestling regime anymore, okay? Not this current one, all right? Everybody has to go out there and everybody has to have a good match, okay? Now, I'm not saying there's no room for these good matches, okay? These 25, 20, 30-minute bouts, okay? One of my favorite matches of all time, right, would be the Iron Man match between, I believe it was John Cena and Randy Orton, right? That's one of my favorite matches of all time, okay? And that's a 60-minute match, right? It's a 60-minute match. So I'm not saying that just because a match is long or just because there's, good wrestling, quote unquote, in the match, right, that it automatically makes the match bad or that automatically won't get people over, right? But the fact of the matter is, if I don't see anybody going out there and absolutely beating the shit out of somebody, right, just beating the fuck out of somebody, then I won't know who it is that I should actually root for. At that point, it just becomes a matter of, all right, who has a better catchphrase, right? Who has more catchy in-ring music, right? Or entrance music, right? Who has more play with the crowd at this point, right? It doesn't even come down to who's actually more talented at that point. It just comes down to a bunch of arbitrary bullshit at the end of the day, right? Because all of those things, they're already going to be they're already going to be factored into the whole equation. But if I don't actually know who's the top dog, who's the big dog in the company, then who am I there to root for, actually, right? Who am I supposed to root for, right? Now, another thing that's making it very hard for people to get over in the Triple H regime is the fact that championships mean absolutely nothing, okay? Back in my day, championships used to be like everybody would, die to be a fucking champion, okay? Not everybody was able to achieve being a champion, because there was only a couple that you were able to grab onto, right? And not everybody had the opportunity to become a champion. Not everybody was good enough to become a champion, okay? But now that we've introduced mid-card titles even into the women's division, right? Now everyone is able to pretty much touch a title at some point, okay? You got like 12 fucking Grand Slam champions at this point, okay? And that just makes the Grand Slam thing fucking completely rendered useless at this point, rendered meaningless at this point. It used to be fucking hard as shit to try to get through all the titles, okay? And part of that was because not everybody wanted every single title. Most people wanted one championship, and that was the WWE championship. That was the World Heavyweight Championship, right? There was no fighting and going after the mid-card title unless that was where your ceiling was, okay? But now we have people whose ceiling should absolutely be higher, right? Somebody like a LA Knight, yeah, right? He's going out of his way to fight for the United States Championship again, when really, ultimately, at this point, he should be going for a World Heavyweight Championship, right? He's already over with the crowd. He already has good moves in the ring. There's no more that you could do for an LA Knight at this point, as far as him getting himself over. There's not much more he can do at this point. It's up to WWE at this point, right? They have to strap the rocket to him at some point, okay? And him holding on to a mid-card title and making that mid-card title mean more than the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship, it doesn't do anything for Cody Rhodes. It doesn't do anything for Gunther, right? It doesn't do anything for those top titles. It just makes those titles seem more meaningless, because there's going to be more people going after these mid-card titles, right? There's way more people in line for the mid-card titles than there are for the world titles, and that's a big fucking problem, okay? And I'm not saying that everybody should be fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Championship, but what I am saying is everybody should want to get to the WWE Championship because of what the WWE Championship is, what it does, the history in the company, whatever, right? The WWE Championship has to mean something, okay? And in order to make it mean something, okay, you have to have more than once a year, okay? Like, only once a year we have the Royal Rumble. Only once a year do we have the Elimination Chamber, right? Where everybody is going after one of these top prizes in the company. But all throughout the year, pretty much all 30 of the people that are in the Royal Rumble, they should be attempting to, raise their stock in the company in order to get to a world title shot, okay? It just has to be that way, because otherwise it just renders those titles meaningless, okay? And not only does that make the titles meaningless if nobody's going for them, if your champions are consistently eating pins and consistently losing matches, then those champions don't look like they're anything special at all, right? So you have, most recently, right, there was a Friday Night SmackDown. I forget which one it was. I believe it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? Where it was like 3 matches in a row where you had your champions losing, okay? There was a match where the tag team champions, the women's tag team champions, they lost, right? There was a match where DIY, they lost, right? There was a match where I believe, there was another champion there that lost, right? It might not have been a loss like where they ate the pin, right? But they lost their matches, right? And what does that do for the champion, huh? All it does is make the champion look just like everybody else, when the champion should be, the cream of the crop. They should be the person that everybody's going after. They should be the person that most people in the company cannot touch, right? But instead, what we have here is Chelsea Green going out there and getting fucking beat the shit out of, getting pinned clean in the ring, right, by Naomi, right? And that doesn't make sense. Naomi is a tag team champion, and Chelsea Green is a mid-card champion, right? If Naomi is the champion in the tag team division, there's no way that she should be going over and beating somebody who is a champion of the singles division. It just simply doesn't make sense. It logically doesn't compute in the minds of a wrestling fan or anybody just tuning in and like, oh, so this person is a champion of the singles division, but that person is the champion of the tag team division. Yet somehow the tag team wrestler was able to out wrestle and quite easily, might I add, right? They had some good, it was a pretty 50-50 match overall, but it was only an 8-minute match, I believe, like 8 to 9 minutes, right? So in that 8 to 9 minutes, she was able to out wrestle, right? Able to out wrestle the fucking mid-card champion. That doesn't make sense. That it literally doesn't make any sense. So that's another reason why nobody's getting over, because not even being a champion at this point means anything, right? It doesn't, nobody wants to be the champion. Nobody's fighting to be a champion, okay? And then we get the something like what happened on this past Friday night, right? Where we have Cody Rhodes coming out there and he's cutting one of the most god-awful, boring promos of all time, okay? And he's the WWE champion. And then later on in the night, you have somebody like LA Knight and The Miz, to LA Knight being, somebody who's actually been in the game for a while and somebody who has a good resume, right? He's nowhere near the top of the card. He's smack dab in the middle of the card, right? And same with LA Knight, somebody who has amazing promo skills, somebody who's, in my opinion, way better in the ring than Cody Rhodes, right? And just way more talented overall than Cody Rhodes, right? These two guys are smack dab in the middle of the card, and you have Cody Rhodes, somebody who's boring as shit, not only on the mic, but also in the ring, right? He's at the top of the company for some reason, okay? And he's holding the championship hostage, okay? At this point, there is no reason for Cody Rhodes to be holding the championship hostage, because there are so many other people that are more talented, but they are being made to look like more of a jobber than Cody Rhodes, so that way Cody Rhodes can be at the top, right? And these guys are all clearly much more talented than Cody Rhodes. Even Carmelo Hayes is much more talented than Cody Rhodes, right? So it doesn't make sense for these guys to be being made out to look like jobbers, while Cody Rhodes hardly shows up on the product. And when he does show up, he's cutting just the most boring, monotonous, slow, grinding your ear promos, and everybody else is there actually working on a week-to-week basis, right? Even Roman Reigns, right? Roman Reigns was methodically and systematically broken down by the Triple H regime, right? Roman Reigns, for 4 years, damn near, right? He was holding the company up. He had the company legitimately on his back, right? And in no time at all, as soon as Triple H gets the ball, right, Triple H starts breaking him down and turning him into just like everybody else. Roman Reigns is out here eating pins. Roman Reigns is out here barely cutting promos. Roman Reigns is not even showing up anymore, because Roman Reigns, I mean, I'm pretty sure at this point Roman Reigns probably doesn't even want to be there anymore, because what is there for him to do at this point? He's had he's been at the top for so long at this point, and now that Triple H is there, he has to move back down the card. He has to basically be a mid-card jobber at this point, right? And what does that do? What does that do in the mind of the people, right? If even Roman Reigns is just like everybody else, if even Roman Reigns is out here getting pinned by Solo Sikoa who had just went on a 50-fight losing streak, right? What does that say to the people who are coming back and trying to watch and trying to get invested into this product? There's no reason to watch, because everybody's pretty much the same. There's no top dogs. There's nobody who's actually legitimately over. Anybody who's over is either manufactured by the WWE over, or they're just not, okay? It's just fucking fake crowd pops. This is awesome chance, this, that, and the other, and nobody really cares, okay? That's why the WWE, like I say, continues to lose all of their of their viewership globally, because there is no reason for people to want to tune in. There's nobody at the top that people legitimately want to root for, because the only people at the top, being that of Cody Rhodes and Gunther, they're both boring as fuck, barely show up, and when they do, they just put everybody to sleep. What is there to tune in for at this point? So that's been just my mini rant for today, right? Just there's no reason to care about anything that's going on right now, because there is nobody's over actually, and nobody's able to get over or stay over if they do get themselves over, right? It's just meaningless. And at that point, and not only that, right? There are no storylines, okay? There are no storylines, okay? You cannot make me care about fake fighting if there is no storyline to back it up. I don't care about Tom Cruise beating the shit out of 5 jobbers, right? If Tom Cruise is not on a mission to save the world, right? Or save Spain, save Kansas, right? If I don't care about it, right? If Tom Cruise doesn't have something that he's actually chasing, okay? So Tom Cruise going out there and beating the shit out of 5 jobbers, right? For an hour and a half, if I'm watching a movie, right? It's not gonna get me invested in that movie, okay? Like, that's just not I couldn't care less about the movie if that's all it's about. If it's all just about Tom Cruise just beating the shit out of jobbers for no reason, right? So, like I say, that's been the rant for the day. This has been your boy, Nate the Great, back with another one. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to hear some more. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.